Hello, welcome to the Juvenile Literacies in Cambridge. In today's video, I'm going to share with you some ideas about how to make some money whilst you are a graduate research student at the University of Cambridge.
A new place, a new home, for a while, let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back, take my time, just enjoy.
This was something that I did whilst I was studying for my PhD, and I think that it's very useful to share this experience with other graduate students who are currently studying for their PhD. So I'm going to talk about 5 ways which you can make some money whilst you still pursue what you love, and it contributes towards your career development as an academic or as a researcher. So the first I want to mention, obviously, is the Cambridge supervisions. The supervision is a small group teaching of undergraduate students, which is often done either within the colleges or in the faculties where the students study. Supervisions are usually between 4 groups maximum, and you get paid for the preparation that go into it, but then also the supervision session. Depending on how many students sign up for a supervision, you can get paid between £32 all the way to like £48. Now, you should remember that as a graduate student in Cambridge, you are allowed to work for only 10 hours. You would also remember that you don't have term time and you don't have vacation as a graduate research student. So that means that for you, the whole academic year, you are allowed to work, although you've got 8 weeks where you can take some break from the research, but you don't go on holiday like other taught masters program or undergraduate students who go on holiday. So during the academic year, you have a maximum of 10 hours per week to work. So you have to bear that in mind whilst you are doing your supervision. So what that means is that for the supervision, you can also be making money 10 hours every week. But of course, you don't do supervision every day of the week. Most supervisions will happen during the term time. So either in the Michaelmas term or in the Lent term. During the Easter term, students write dissertations, so there isn't teaching going on. And also, realistically, you can't be teaching too many papers. So ideally, you would probably go for 1 paper, and that would mean that, practically speaking, within a week, if you are taking 1 paper and you are doing 10 hours, that means you can have like 10 different sessions. And depending on the number of students who sign up for each session, you can be looking at something within the range of £480 per week. So if your supervision is going to happen for maybe just 2 weeks, then you know that you are making some amount of money within that range of about maybe 400, 500, 600, whatever the amount will be. So that is one way. It's a useful experience because you get to do teaching, and this is something you can put on your CV, that whilst you're a graduate student or whilst you're a researcher undertaking your PhD, you were also involved in teaching. So you get something to put on your CV. The second one I want to touch on is doing invigilation. Yes, you can be an invigilator during examinations. So most colleges reach out to graduate students asking them if they are willing to be an invigilator for some of the papers. I don't know whether things might have changed, but I remember when I was a PhD student, I was doing invigilation for my college, Queen's College, and during the exam period, which was within the period of May, June, I'll be scheduled to do invigilation maybe 3 times in a week. Each paper we spend 2 hours, so I was getting paid around £12 an hour for each supervision. And the money wasn't significant, but then it was good amount of money. After the whole exam period, I can be making around £300, £350. So you've got supervision, you've got invigilation, something within that range to add on to that, which was good amount of money. Um, the third one I would mention is summer school teaching. This is a very good opportunity in Cambridge during the summer. There are summer schools in Cambridge. I remember there is Bucksmore College, there is Immerse Education, and during the summer, the, all over the city, you see students coming from all over the world coming to take short courses and programs in Cambridge. Some of them, at the end of the day, are awarded certificates. And these organizations or these educational institutions who run these summer schools often reach out to university researchers, staff members, academics to find out if anybody is interested in doing teaching within some specific subject areas. So I recall in my first year, myself and one of my colleagues, we were asked to develop a module on real estate and urban economics. And it was a very good opportunity. So we got to develop a course. And at the end of the day, we taught that course for 2 weeks. And that was a very good amount of money. I think we got paid something around £800 to £1,000. But it was because of the constraint you have with regards to your working hours. But that was a very good amount of money, and then also a very good teaching experience. The opportunity to be able to shape the educational trajectory of these young ones who are coming to Cambridge. They are so excited to be in Cambridge, to be taught by Cambridge researchers. That was quite rewarding. So I would say summer school teaching is definitely something that you should consider. Around April, May, these summer schools start reaching out to students. If you just look them up on the internet, Immerse Education, Bucksmore College, you would find them. And once you establish that rapport with them, and they like the content, almost every year they would reach out to you. I remember I've done that for like 2 or 3 consecutive years. Last year I was asked to come and do that, but obviously because of work commitment, I couldn't do that. So I think that giving tutoring or teaching during summer school is also a very good way you can make a very decent amount of money, but then also get that onto your CV that whilst you're a PhD candidate, you were doing teaching, and that's a very useful experience. The fourth one I would also mention is also doing teaching, but for foundation year colleges or some sixth form colleges. This one, it's something you have to do a bit of scouting and looking around. I remember I did that during my PhD first year. I'll call it coincidence. It so happened that there was a college in Anglia Ruskin, so it's called the Cambridge Ruskin International College. And at the time, they were looking for an economics tutor. So they reached out and they asked me whether I'm able to teach macro and microeconomics for foundation year. And I said, why not? I'm a land economist, so I can teach macroeconomics. And then I got signed on. It was for a 3-month contract. It required a lot of preparation, but the money was good. I can't vividly recollect exactly how much, but I think I was getting paid somewhere within the ranges of about 60 or 70 pounds or so every hour or so. And I got some discount also for marking and also conducting exams. That was a decent amount of money. So definitely worth looking into it. Look for colleges that are in need of subjects that you have expertise in. If you're a social scientist, you may have expertise in economics, geography, literature. Some of these colleges would A-level colleges, sixth form colleges, they would require your expertise. So it's worth having a look, and then but you definitely have to balance all this with your research, your PhD research, which is your main reason for coming to the university. All these things I'm talking about, they are just opportunity to develop your career, um, so that by the time you finish your PhD, you'll be able to say, I got this experience whilst I was still studying for my PhD. The fifth one I want to mention is called the Authors and Licensing Collecting Society, called ALCS. So this is a society made up of people who are authors of books, authors of journal papers. So what the group essentially does is to collect royalties from your scholarly works that are published within the United Kingdom. A lot of people don't know this, and I mean, it was an eye opener when I got introduced to ALCS. So the caveat is that whatever work that you have published, for which your publisher is a UK-based publisher, which means that the publisher is registered in the United Kingdom, and this particular work is not more than 3 years old, you can register with ALCS and then enter the details about this work. Now, ALCS will pay you royalties that they will collect based on where your book or your academic work is being used. So they would pay you royalties that are due you. Exactly how they go about collecting the money is not something that I'm privy to, but what I know is that in November and in March, they make payments for people who have registered with them, and trust me, they pay a good amount of money. I mean, if you just want to have a sense of how people feel during the payday, just go on Twitter, go on ALCS, and then just check the Twitter the thread. You will see. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, I have friends who within one payment cycle got like £3,000, £4,000. I mean, my very first one, I got like 600, £700. For at the time, I had just published one paper or so that I put in. And I remember some of my friends I got introduced to last year, some got like £1,200. And I mean, this becomes money that you get paid as long as the work is not more than 3 years old, or it's not older than 3. You will get paid every payment cycle. As I mentioned, they pay every March. March is a bigger payment, and then also in November. But most people get their payment in March. So if you haven't registered to be a member of the Authors and Licensing Collecting Society, you should definitely consider joining. If you're a PhD candidate and you started thinking about publication, or you've even done, I mean, you've done some blogs, you've done works that you've got a publisher that is based in the United Kingdom. These days, they've even added photographs. So if you have any photographs or pictures that are related to your research, that can also be deposited, and you can earn some royalties on that. So yeah, I don't think that being a PhD researcher means that you should just be confined behind your laptop or your desk 3 years, just do the research and get your research completed and leave university. I mean, I think that there are a lot of opportunities to make money whilst you are still gaining relevant experience that you can put on your CV. So I mean, you can check this out if you are in another university. If you are not in Cambridge, where you've got the supervision system, I believe that some of the things I've talked about in terms of doing teaching in a foundation year or some sixth form college, doing invigilations, will be something worth exploring. But definitely, it's worth considering ALCS. Sign up to become a member. I mean, they have not paid me to do this, but I think that it's a fantastic society. I mean, it's very legit. I've done my own research. I've contacted them. I've contacted publishers, journal publishers, to ensure that I'm not infringing on any copyrights, and I'm reasonably assured. I'm assured that ASCS is registered to collect whatever royalties they collect for people. So there are no legal implications or whatsoever. So yes, thank you. If you found this useful, I mean, just give us a like, just subscribe to our channel so that we will know that these are content you like, and then we can produce more content along those lines. So thank you for stopping by our channel. You can leave any question you have or any comment in the feedback, and definitely we'll get back to you on that. So thank you and see you. Bye bye.